Okay, good morning. Welcome to another quarterly press conference. Sytiamo Technology Limited, like you all know, is Nigeria's number one non-bank micro-lending institution. We have been doing this for as long as when we started in 2021. Every quarter, we try our best to carry along our investors. We are a private limited liability company. But having said that, it does not stop us from engaging and letting all our stakeholders know what we're doing. We have quite a large number of investors. These are people that have trusted us with their hard-earned funds for us to do the business we are doing. So it behoves on us to be accountable to them and to let them know that what is going on within Sytiamo Technology Limited. And we are just a microcosm of what is playing out in the larger Nigerian economy and by extension, the world economy at large. We love these sessions because they do not just provide us opportunity of talking to our stakeholders, mostly our investors, and those whom we call friends of Sytiamo. It also gives us opportunity to get feedbacks from these people that have trusted us with their funds. And most of the time, the feedback we get from people also give us the opportunity to do better in the operations that we do. So it's something we look forward to. And by explaining what we are doing, you get to ask questions, you get to understand us. Sometimes when you give us this feedback, it will help us to get better at what we are doing. And every single one we do, you see that the number keep increasing. Suffice to say that we have a growing number of diaspora investors. We have investors in the United States of
I don't know.
America,
I
in
just see my
Canada,
point there for something.
investors. Yeah, okay, Mr. Abdullahi has muted himself. Yeah, thank you very much. We have investors in the Middle East, we have investors in the UK, and the list keep growing. So this is not just us talking to ourselves here in Nigeria, but a lot of other people that believe in us and have joined us to do this business also require that we explain what is going on so that they will be on the know. Thank you very much. Like I said, this is just an introduction and it has also given me opportunity. In the last 3 minutes, a lot of other people have joined us. We will start now. Others will try as much as possible to record this so that even people that wouldn't be able to, because think about it, it is very early in the morning in Canada, in North America, and what have you. So not everybody will be awake now to listen to it. But when we record it and share it, they will get to hear what we've done. We are practically going to look at what has happened within the last 3 months, which is the second quarter of 2026. And in discussing what has happened in the second quarter of 2026, since this is also the middle of the year, we will also bring to bear what has happened in the last 6 months. The agenda is very simple. We are going to look at the global economic landscape, especially what has happened in the Middle East, which has driven a lot of what has played out in the economy of recent. The second thing we'll look at Nigeria's domestic economy in terms of inflation, what CBN is doing, and what is happening in the banking sector. Well, then we'll go to regulatory shockwave in the micro lending business. Since CBN has hit the hammer on 46 microfinance banks, their license from operating. And the most important part of this meeting today for me is us sharing our strategy for the remaining half of the year. We'll get to share with you what we plan to do and get your feedback. And it's going to be very, very interactive at that point. This speaks to our strategic positioning, and I will tell you why. If you are aware, you've been listening to news, you realize that the wife of the president, Akara, that is the segment where we play. You know, we are a micro lending institution. So she spoke directly to the bulk of our customer base. And flowing from that, that is why we have decided to use that as a proxy for the next plan we have. Then there is a rollout and timelines internally, which we will discuss briefly because this has to do with our board of directors. Bureau of Statistics, and it dropped from 15.93 to 15.91. What led to it principally is the fact that the Middle East conflict, what had happened there is that when there was a truce, as it were, between US and Iran, not Iraq, Iran, there was a little bit of respite, and it affected the price of energy. And during this period, if you notice, all that growing inflation, people confuse it. They think that when you say inflation has dropped, it means that cost has reduced. No. Remember what inflation is: increase, the rate of increase in the prices of goods and services. So the rate at each as of the increase has tempered a bit, not that the prices have come down. The rate at which it was growing before has reduced slightly, and we are talking about 0.02. It can be significant. So nothing really has changed from 15.93 to 15.91. CBN monthly policy rate still holds sway at 26.5. I will pause here to tell you what this means for Sytiamo. Our investors receive return on investment in excess of 30% per annum. So anybody that puts his money in Sytiamo is still having more return than before can wipe out. But if your money is elsewhere, I can guarantee you without any fear of addiction that we are just for inflation. If you are operating investment is less than 26.5, it means that inflation is wiping out the revenue or the income you are generating from your investment. The exchange rate remains a bit stable at 1,390. That is the official one. The Bureau de Change, I think they are doing 1,403 and 1,405, depending on whether you are in Abuja or in Lagos. But the stability is what is important here because you can actually plan. US Federal Reserve funds rate held at 3.5 to 3.75 because there is a hawkish dot plot signals as a result of the new person at the helms of affairs in the United States of America. Like we said, 46 microfinance banks licenses were revoked by CBN effective July 1, 2026. And it was a shock wave to, especially in our segment of the market, which is micro lending. We'll discuss it briefly and the implication it has on our business. Then fresh capital raised across banks because of the recapitalization is 4.05 trillion, and it has massive effects on the business that we do. Let's go to the global economic landscape. Two global shocks: the Middle East driven oil crisis and the hawkish US Federal Reserves are the shaping that they have shaped the cost and the availability of capital across the world. Unfortunately, it's like a moving incident. As we speak, there is a resumption in the conflict, as it were, in the Middle East. The Middle East conflict triggers an oil and fuel price shock. There was an increase of 43.2% on the price of Brent crude in March 2026 as against February. And that drove up a lot of things. You know, the regulation of the oil sector in Nigeria has a it's a double whammy. It has a blessing and it has a curse. It has a blessing to the extent that the federal government is making more money, obviously, in the increase in the price of crude oil. Again, as against a budget of I think 70 something naira per dollar per barrel, which was in the budget. Now we are talking about well over 100 for a greater part of when the war was going on. Even now, it's trending at over $80 per barrel. So Nigeria as a state is making more money. The flip side is that because it's a deregulated sector, Dangote will always adjust the price of petrol and diesel to conform with what is happening in the world economy. Don't forget that all the crude he's using to refine, not most of it is from Nigeria. So he still imports crude and he has to pay at the going international market rate. So what that does is that the price you pay at the pump at your filling station will always reflect the reality. You can say for middle class, it might not impact them so much, but when you begin to come to those at the bottom of economic pyramid, you will see that paying a transport cost of 1,200 naira from mainland to the island, with this increase, you are paying 2,004. So more like doubling your cost of transportation. It's not just transportation for workers alone. Remember that the goods and services are also transported. The rail system is not anything significant in Nigeria. So it has direct impact in the cost of goods, mostly food stuff, and it has a chain effect. So, but we'll discuss that further as we go along. What's the implication for Sytiamo? Borrowers' cash flow is under real pressure, energy link cost, higher demand for small, short-tenured working capital loans as informal traders absorb the rising transportation and restocking cost. Timely loan disbursement cycle around market day cash flows, which are now more sensitive to fuel price swings. What he's saying is this: you can go in the morning and buy something for 1,200. In the evening, it might be 1,500. Why? Because the cost of bringing whatever it is to the market changes as these unplanned externalities affect what we do in our market. But let me reassure our investors how we have mitigated against the risk of this 150 customers that pay us back on a daily basis. These are people that borrow money, but their repayment is on a daily basis. So we monitor it. As at the last time I checked, 97.5% performance. So you will see that because we track this thing, it gives us opportunity to know when to pull the plug. And like I said, at 97.5, we are still okay. It's not affecting us in the real sense of it. Now let's go to the Nigerian domestic economy. Rising inflation, tight monetary policy, Naira under pressure, a fast consolidating banking sector are reshaping the operating environment for every Nigerian lender. The headline inflation, like I said, it was 15.93 right up to yesterday when it dropped slightly to 15.91. After 11 months of disinflation, Nigeria's headline rate turned upwards from March, which was 15.38 to 15.69. Then April, it jumped up to 15.93. But like I said, it tapered a bit yesterday. It is driven mostly by food inflation at 16.796. As at yesterday, it has gone to 17 point something. That's the food inflation. Bottom line, how are we mitigating against the risk of making this become a problem for us? On the side of our investors who receive return on investment on their money, we are still paying higher interest rates than the inflation, obviously, and even the monetary policy rate. So if you are an investor with Sytiamo Technology Limited, happy are you, because your investment is still guaranteed. Rising cost of living erodes real repayment capacity for micro lenders. But because we receive our money weekly, daily, and some monthly, we are able to monitor to see how this is translating into the repayment of our loans by our customers. Tighten affordability checks within the 24-48 hour verification gateway to reflect rising household expenses, not just past repayment history. Consider shorter loan. This is what we are doing, right? We consider shorter tenure loans and smaller initial loan sizes for new customers until the inflation stabilizes. So we are not just out there giving loans, we are managing our portfolio to know how the implication of this increase in inflation will affect us. We position Sytiamo's interest as a transparent, inflation-resistant alternative to informal money lenders whose rate typically rises faster in inflationary period. If you go to a typical um, microfinance bank in Nigeria, their rate is 10% flat per month. But our rate to market women is 5% flat per month. They trust us more and we do better business with profit as the Shylock microfinance banks in quotes, but it helps us to manage our portfolio. Our non-performing loan are very, very minimal, but we'll get to that as we go along. We'll track food and transport costs monthly as early warning indicators for portfolio at risk. CBN held its policy rate at 26.5, so liquidity is staying tight, but we'll still see the impact of the money recapitalization of Nigerian banks, how it has helped to bring in some monies into the economy, especially from diaspora and from outside the country. So that has also helped to make liquidity available. But even with the availability, it's not everybody that needs this money that gets, especially those at the bottom of the economic pyramid, which is the segment that we focus on. In having cut once this cycle in 2026 by 50 basis points, the CBN held its rate steady in May, keeping the cash reserve ratio at 45 for deposit money banks. Cardoso, that is the CBN governor, cited a slight uptick in inflation as a reason for the caution. This keeps commercial banks' lending rates and the cost of any wholesale funding, but Sytiamo sources funds from banks at an elevated rate because of it. But mostly, the bulk of our investment funds come from our small and institutional investors. The implication for Sytiamo is that expensive bank credit widens Sytiamo's addressable market. Banks are not giving to those at the bottom of economic pyramid. Sytiamo does. But it raises its own funding cost. Negotiated funding line pricing with financial and commercial capital partners now before any further tightening. So what we are saying is that now that banks have recapitalized, they have excess money to give out at loan. They might not give to the same people we give, but we are a middle man, as it were, between those at the bottom of economic pyramid and the banks. So what we do is that if we share our loan book with a reasonable bank that can see, especially a bank that sees our turnover, you will see that we have a 97.5 performance rate at that bottom of economic pyramid. For some banks, They are funding us to fund these people. So those engagements are happening. Prioritize capital efficiency, high turnover lending, lower amount, short tenure over larger ticket sizes while wholesale funding stays costly. That's exactly what I've said. Explore blended finance,
Open the gate for me.
DFI-backed facilities that are less sensitive to the MPR movement. Mr. Okay was welcome. I think you muted yourself. Thank you for joining. Naira weekend Naira weakens again after a period of relative stability. But substance over phone, I'm not going to spend time on the exchange rate because it has been pretty stable, even with the small movement across the band. But for Sytiamo, it doesn't have major impact because we don't take investment in foreign currency. We shy away from exchange rate risk. There is nobody that give us money in dollars we don't accept. If you want to give us money for investment, send it through your Nigerian bank account in Naira, and our return to you is also in Naira. Take your exchange rate risk by yourself and leave us where we are. Bank's recapitalization has brought in 4.05 trillion. The implication for Sytiamo is that the consolidated mega banks are stepping back from small ticket informal lending, a gap Sytiamo can now confidently own. We are positioning Sytiamo as the specialist last mile lender that larger recapitalized banks are structurally unable to serve profitably. We'll pursue this, they pursue this recapitalization, better funded commercial banks as balance sheet partners as already planned rather than competitors. So we don't see the deposit money banks as our competitors, but as enablers. Whilst they cannot play at the rate, at the level we are playing at the bottom of economic pyramid, when they see what we've been able to achieve and accomplish, it helps them to have trust in us and lend through us. Whatever guarantee they want from us, we've always provided because our turnover speaks for us. We'll leverage improved sector-wide trust in formal banking post-recap to build partnership that lends Sytiamo credibility with customers and regulators. Now to the most important part of the discussion today. Having seen what has happened from January to June, we have a new strategy. There was a document that was circulating within the last one month. It was a research that was done that shows that OPay has about 60 million customers, while First Bank of Nigeria, that has been in existence for over 100 years, has 42 million customers. OPay is a fintech to all intents and purposes that runs with a microfinance bank license. If OPay can do it, we believe that Sytiamo can do even better. Tomorrow, incidentally, is our 7th anniversary of incorporation. Sytiamo was incorporated on the 17th of July 2019. So by tomorrow, we'll be celebrating our 7th anniversary. Why is that important? We've been on this journey. There is a research internationally done which says that any company that survives 5 years of operation, chances of it dying reduces tremendously. Sytiamo has been on this journey and we have learned a lot of lessons, which is what we are using to increase the volume and value of what we are bringing to the table. Now we have looked at our business, and this is what we call it Project 1 Million Customers. We've always had that as our strategy and our vision. Sytiamo is Nigeria's #1 non-bank micro-lending institution with the aim of empowering 1 million market women through microcredit and creating monetary value for all stakeholders. This vision, if you ask any staff of Sytiamo Technology Limited, they will share it with you without thinking. They don't read it. It is in our DNA. That 1 million is significant for us because we believe that by the time we get to that milestone of 1 million, a lot of other things will begin to happen naturally. So what we have decided to do is that we will begin from this last 5 months of this year to pursue that 1 million mark that we have set for ourselves. How do we plan to do that? Very simple. Some people say, Mr. Michael, why are you sharing your strategy with the whole world? We are talking to our investors and people that have had confidence in us. So we are not afraid to share our vision with you. We intend to employ nothing less than 100 new staff between now and the end of the month. Not only employing them, we are going to train them adequately. And all of them get of the minimum of accounts a day. So adding 10 new customer start. If we did that, we should be able to have, my brother has joined. Dr. Ikena, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. So if we did that, we are going to have nothing less than 100,000 new customers between now and year end. That same information I said I saw showed that not too many people can get to that 1 million. I don't want to mention the name of the banks, but I have about 4 banks that have only 1 million customers. Now, if Sytiamo can move from 100,000 customers, which is our plan for this remaining part of this year, by next year, without a doubt, we will achieve that 1 million market women vision that we have set for ourselves. What is the implication of that? You know, there is something that says if you want to do something, do it. Don't do it in incremental basis. You can't be adding, because before now, since January to June, we're adding between 46 and 90 customers per month. That cannot take us anywhere. Now, if we begin to add 20,000 customers per month, that makes sense. With that, you will begin to make the social impact you promise yourself you are going to make. So we have 100 new field officers, 200,000 active customer per month. Then the loan size, because we are just testing this, we are piloting proof of concept. We are limiting our risks to 10,000 naira to 50,000 naira. That's how much you can borrow in this first instance. When we understand the market very well, we can now increase the envelope to a higher loan size. But that is our plan. What that means is that in this, from 1st of August till 31st of December 2026, we are going to add, at the very minimum, 100,000 new customers. This is how the pilot will go. On a daily basis, this 100 agent field officers, suffice to say that we have employed about 10 to 15 of them already. Just before this meeting, we had some interview, so we are still on that journey. Between next week and the last week of this month, intensive training is going to happen. Now, when we finish, and Mr. Chindu, you can mute. Thank you very much. So when they start up work, they will. One of the things we've said to ourselves is that you must not be more than 1,000 naira transport away from the market that you are managing. So you live very close to that market. Is Nchendu, so you can mute her. Okay, so that means that you will be very close to the market that you operate in. So cost of transportation will not be your issue. You work only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Saturday, you can relax, or Saturday, you can go back to the market and do follow up on all you have achieved that day. When the form we are going to share is the shortest form for lending you will find anywhere in Nigeria, and it is intentional. The customers are not leaving their place of business. So our agent field officer comes with this very small form, which you will fill, sign. The goods that we are sponsoring is the collateral that we are using. So when that form is filled, the information on that form is sent back end. There are some security information which I'm not going to disclose here that will enable us do back-end verification of every single borrower or potential borrower. We will also marry it with credit bureau record. When we tie the security information with the credit bureau record and you scale through, you will get your money credited to you within 48 hours. That's our promise. And when you get that money, it's also coming as we are sending you information on the fact that you've been credited. You'll also get a unique number through which once you pay, there is no need for reconciliation back end. That information will help us to track how you are repaying your loan. There are three variants. So first, we have those that repay daily, we have those that repay monthly, and very exceptional cases, we have monthly repayment, but those are very minimal ones. I will speak to that later on. So that is what we plan to do. So that 10,000 to 50,000, if we do it very well and we have run our number, your darling Sytiamo Technology Limited not only is increase in the number, we're also going to be a bit more profitable. And when your risk is diversified over 100,000 customers, you will be in a better place because not too many of them will be defaulting and they can't all gang up to scam you as it were. And you can't be having pressure of a segment holding you to ransom. We are talking about 100 markets. We are starting, this pilot phase is just in Lagos. And when we kickstart and we learn and everything is okay, the next state closest to Lagos is Ogun State. From Abeokuta to the other part of Ogun State, we'll go there. Our business is flourishing very well in Abia State. We're in Aba and environ, where our business is thriving very well in Rivers State, Port Harcourt and environ. We're also in Taraba, Jalingo in Taraba State. We're in the outskirts of Abuja. These are areas we have established our foothold. Remember, at some point, we're in 28 states in Nigeria. We scaled back. Those structures are still in place, waiting for reactivation. I had the privilege of going to Eket last month for a training, and they are waiting for us in Akwa Ibom to activate. We already have customers in Akwa Ibom. It's just to reactivate, and we are going back there. So
that's right. That's right.
Knowledge Warehouse. Thank you, sir. Kings was my host, and he did a fantastic job of it. From that training I came back from, we've had new investors from that project, and we are going to Akwa Ibom to do big things. We are already doing big things. It's just that there were some hiccups that we couldn't correct very well, which we are going to correct this time around. Strategic partnership. We wanted to get a CBN license, microfinance bank license last year, but CBN didn't bring it out as a circular, but they have stopped issuing new licenses for microfinance banks. Our application is still there, waiting for them to come up. Whenever they are ready, we will be ready because we have done all the homework. If you take our 7-year experience and what we have done and our customer base, and you give us a license, only God knows what is going to stop us. We have the proof of concept. We have learned this thing and we are just waiting. So what I'm saying is that because we don't have direct CBN license, we have entered into partnership with 1 or 2 CBN license institutions that will help us do the back-end verification of these customers to enable us ensure that everything we are doing is risk-proof. And we also have some partnership with some institutions that have decided to give us fresh funds to pursue this ambitious vision that we want to implement. This is a good point to tell our investors, and I have so many of them on this call. Please, you have been with us all this while. Last year alone, we paid close to 2 billion on return on investment to our investors. This year, we are going to pay out nothing less than 4 billion. From what we have done so far, it is going to be massive. We are praying that you continue to trust us with your funds, and we will, I know that some tax authorities might be hearing this figure and say, okay, let's go and tax Sytiamo Technology Limited. Everything we do is transparent, and that is why we have the boldness to share some of these visions with you. But the point we are making is that if you have given us funds and you have been receiving your returns as at when due, nothing is going to change. If anything, it's going to get better. Suffice to say that since Sytiamo started till today, we have never defaulted in any of our obligations. Not too many institutions will be bold enough to say that in open space. Our statement of account attests to this. Our credit bureau report attests to this. We have kept faith with all our promises, and nothing is going to make it to reduce. We want to set ourselves as Nigeria's number one non-bank micro lending institution. We are very mindful of our niche market, and we are not going to stop. You see, when these market women pray for us, those prayers are heard by God, and the social impact we are making is what is driving us. I have a team of dedicated staff. Some of them, we are not seeing them, but they are here with me in this podcast that we are making. Because these people, it's not as if we pay very well, as it were, but because we're a family, number one. Number two, they see the vision and they have bought into it. Number three, when that change we're looking for happens, they will be the first beneficiaries. They see everything we do. Tomorrow, during our anniversary, 70th anniversary, you will see us celebrating ourselves, giving awards to those that have faithfully journeyed with us on this great vision that we are sharing. So those are the things we have done. We have our partners. There are institutions that are giving us, sorry, I needed to cut off that. I still hope you can still hear me. There are institutions that have decided to give us funds. There are institutions that have decided to give us that dynamic number I spoke about, that will make our reconciliation possible. There are institutional and commercial banks that have decided to work with us to provide fresh funds. What are our plans for this second half of the year? I've shared the vision, 1 million market women with you. We are mobilizing and onboarding 100 new staff. They are just going through the recruitment process. They are going to SFU, Special Fraud Unit at Melverton. We are going to let them see what happens to those that steal from their employers. They did it to me when I was in Guarantee Trust Bank. We visited Krikri, not for anything, so that you see it's a carrot and the stick and the that's it. Stick and carrot and stick, yeah. Approach. You will be rewarded if you do what you need to do, but you will also be punished when you fail to do or you intentionally decide to be a fraudulent person. The training with the form and all, so that we're doing, we are getting quality people that will drive this vision. Market activity. You see, we always go to market, and the reason we can share our vision openly like this is to implement. You will not implement it very well because we are not us and we are not you. Our market visitations, when we visit our customers, we not only empower them, others learn, we empower. We don't just give money. We come, we train you. The last time we were at one market in Lagos, giving them free treatment, eye treatment, high blood pressure, and what have you. Who does that? That was in partnership with Lagos State government. If our customers are healthy and they do well, it comes back to us. So it's not just financial transactions we are doing. We are doing empowerment, education. We go as far as we are talking to some insurance company to see how we can put HMO as part of the learn we're doing. So we care about our customers. So you can copy and paste all you want, but you cannot get it as we have. We want to scale and optimize, and we are still waiting for CBN to come back to us to give us the license that will enable us do bigger things. And we have shared. I will just show you briefly. I'm not going to show you. These are quarterly reports of what we have done in terms of our numbers. But this we are going to share with our board of directors. We have our board meeting later today. I think it starts by 12 or 2. Yeah, 2 o'clock today. Then we'll take all the figures because we are a private limited liability company. So that I cannot share openly here. This is the point that I will turn the mic off and allow you to ask your question, make your suggestions, and help us. Natasha is coordinating that. You can just raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Yes, so that is where we are. Thank you for hearing us out and sharing this. Okay, somebody has raised hand. Okay, Pastor Kings, go ahead, sir.
So, thank you so much. I've really been enjoying myself, and I had to pull in some of our friends in Akwa Ibom to join, especially the intending investors. Mine is not necessarily a question, but just to lend my voice to what you said. Thank you for the investment of your integrity into the work you're doing. I mean, in this first sphere of business, it's commonplace to have people pull money out of people's hand and mess it up for them. But 7 years is not, excuse me the use of the word, my. 7 years is not
No,
my.
my.
And you've gained my trust as a person, and I think the 1 million landmark you're setting is very conservative, because by the time you expand into new areas, new spaces, like you're coming to Akwa Ibom, you've got me here, believe me. And as the outfall of the event that we had, or the movement that we started, you're going to see a lot of opportunities, because once people understand the purpose of money, they will be able to use it appropriately. So just wanted to say thank you. And you're going to hear from us. You'll hear from us in a
Thank
much,
you,
much
sir.
more bigger way than what we've done ever. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. Just for those that don't know, he came to this office on 2 occasions just to see what we're doing. And I had the privilege of going to meet him where he was staying in Lagos then. And we shared ideas. Those ideas we shared, they are beginning to materialize. When I saw what he did in Eket, my God, I was telling him, why are you? Because you could only see such class in Lagos and Abuja, but he was able to bring world class people to Eket, and it was marvelous. And the outcome of that period we just spent together, I, I,
No, sir. I think you're cracking.
Yeah, Pastor Ikenna, go ahead, sir. We want to hear from you, sir.
Of your and cause a lot more opportunities to come your way. And we can't wait to see you growing from the microfinance that you are into a full-fledged commercial bank. And keep up the good work. And I think people are beginning to have a lot more trust, because I get feedback and I ask questions from people. So I think the most important thing is to maintain your integrity, improve the system. You know, I've spoken to you a couple of times in terms of areas of improvement. So I think I know we're going to work to make money, then try and automate the system, but the institution is doing well, and we'll pray for more things for you. Well done, and thank you.
Thank you very much. I can't thank you enough. You are the first person that did not just invest. You brought every member of your family. That for me was humbling. And I kept receiving calls. Do you know Ikena? He's my mentor. He said I should talk to you. Ikena is my mentor. He said I should talk to you. Thank you very much, sir. We don't take those are the things that make us to continue, because we can't afford to disappoint you or disappoint ourselves. So we will continue to do things rightly. Thank you very much. I'm forever grateful, sir. Mr. Bimbola Olujide, you can unmute and go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oba. I didn't know you were going to conclude on that note. If I did, I wouldn't have raised my hand. Ikena brought me here. And one thing I will just tell you is this. Majority of people, look, sir, I am not doing this to patronize you, and I think and hope that everybody who listens here will understand why I'm saying it. A majority of people don't invest in smart systems. Oh, this system, the documentation, if you see the structure, is so beautiful. There's a lot of assurance. This thing will work. We have run our numbers. We have done this. Majority of people don't invest that in those anymore. Okay, people now invest in integrity. If the yield is low, very paltry, very lean, very minimal, but the person that is working the system has integrity, I would rather go there. And I'm sure majority of people here may not talk, but that is what brought many of us here, integrity. I didn't know Sytiamo. I'd made up my mind I'm not investing in nobody again because I've lost an awful lot of money. I've invested in a king who brought me here. And there was no question. He just Kenna is like my covenant friend. And of course, we don't put that one in the public. And I didn't know he was going to talk when I raised my hand up.
Yeah.
It was him that I invested in, not you. And it's now becoming a little bit realistic that, yes, I think it's worthwhile investing in you through him. So in your strategy, I think that's a very good thing for you to focus on.
Yeah.
And I'm happy I'm beginning to see a semblance of that when you refer to the man that hosted you in at Akwa Ibom. As the marketplace evolves, smarter systems are coming into play with the AIs, with the use and advent of AI. So human beings can, as far as system design goes, well, it will continue to be smarter. But you see that integrity thing does not exist anywhere outside humanity and personalities. So I encourage you to continue to build on that format. That's a market resource that nobody can replicate in any way. You can't be edged out if you move with people of high integrity alone. So I wish you the best. I'm encouraged to continue investing in Sytiamo. And I have been very, very cautious. I've never introduced Sytiamo to anybody because I want to see how it goes. Well,
Yes,
I've been
sir.
here almost 6 months now. So as we see how it goes, then we also can take up the apostolate that Pastor Ikenna that you spoke with now. Thank you very much and congratulations on your 7th anniversary. I wish you the best. Let's go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. These words are humbling, to say the least. Thank you. I don't want to say much more than that. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, Mr. Kim has removed this. Okay. Yeah, all saints. Is that all saints? Okay, all saints, you can unmute yourself and go ahead. Is it Allah saints? Allah saints. You can okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for an opportunity to speak. Thank you so much. I've followed you over the years, and right from when your children are small, I followed you back to back, back to back. Then it go to the year, which I think that was 2019, when we were about launching Sytiamo, and we chatted you on Facebook then. At that time, things were shaking for me. But because of the integrity that I saw in you, in your faith with God, your work with God, that period I was speaking of when we invest, was like a prophecy, and we invest and we invest. The last year I was able to invest. And I didn't regret it. with you, sir. I didn't regret investing with you.
Thank you very much.
I didn't regret it. I really appreciate your integrity. You kind of pull it to others. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
You pull out of
Yes.
you pull it to others. Your integrity is contagious. That's what I will use. Because people you move with end up behaving like you do. People
Yes.
that invest over the years, that follow you through over the years, end up behaving just the way you behave, end up doing things just because most times we're like, oh, I don't want to disappoint this person because I'm working with this person, I'm following this person. It's like you having somebody as a friend. Let me say, okay,
Yes.
I have you as a friend now. And people want to make me as friend. They will look at who I'm following.
Yes.
That's what will make them. Now, this person is following this person. I think I know this person has integrity. So you've been perfect in what you're doing. I appreciate you, sir. God bless you, sir. And I pray that Sytiamo will not just end in just where it is now, but it will grow from strength to strength in influence, in capacity, in the name of Jesus. God bless you,
Amen.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
I'm a lady, but I have a male voice. I'm a lady.
So sorry. They said the same thing about me. I'm a man, but my voice sounds like a lady. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Kevin James and Olumide. Oh, okay. Sorry.
So sorry. Mr. Kai says, well done, Sytiamo, and he appreciates quarterly MPR, but however, not a yardstick and not to ignore the risks attached to investment. His question is, are you really pushing for CBN license or any other regulator license that will secure new investors?
Okay. So the answer is yes. We sent in our application late last year, and they didn't get back to us, only to say that for now they have stopped issuing fresh licenses, and when they resume, they will let us know. So we had a consultant that helped to put everything together. He's still following up for us. As soon as the start issuing license, we will get it. A few people have come to us to say, can you buy? But the amount they are adding to the normal license is ridiculous. This thing about Nigerians want to take, because they know that CBN has stopped us 4 years to make, they believe it's not reasonable. That's the only reason we have not bought a CBN. In terms of what you say, we look at risk very, very well. We are very mindful. This new strategy was
like, can we get also maybe during these meetings?
Okay. The only thing I can say is that last year we broke even. We didn't make a lot of it. We also didn't make a loss last year. This year, the first quarter was fantastic. The second quarter, we did not meet all our expected profitability. Are we going to be profitable at the end of the year? Yes. We will make more profit than last year. Businesses at this bottom of the economic pyramid is not easy. It is not as profitable as people believe. Remember, our core objective is to meet all obligations as at when due. In order to keep that alive, you do a lot of heavy lifting, including financially. So you are not driven by the profitability. Otherwise, it would have been easier for us to go and pick up finance license. But you see, of the economic pyramid, especially with regards to market women, those are in our market, that is our focus, and we are not shift from it. So the short answer to the question is, we are not as profitable as we would have loved to. for these reasons I've mentioned, but we are not removing our eyes from the goal, which is to build capacity. Profit will happen naturally, and when it does, it will grow at an accelerated rate, and then we'll reward ourselves for all the past experiences we've had. That's the much I can say without getting approval from my board to share our financials with you. Thank you. So, Mr. Kelvin James, you can go ahead, sir.
Good morning, esteemed leader, and so good to be here. And I want to say a very big thank you to you. I've listened to your podcast, and I'm very impressed. But I want to say how I came in here. I want to say a very big thank you to Pastor Kings, because he brought. Last time I was in his office, he called you and he was asking you about the return on investment on the investment portal.
Yes.
And you were talking with him. I was right inside the office with him. And he was talking to me about the Sytiamo. And in short, he said, let him call you so that I can hear from the horse's mouth, even though he didn't mention that there was someone with him in the office.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was right there because I'm one of the persons he's bringing in, and I'm coming in strongly. And having listened to you very, very seriously, I know that I'm into something that not only integrity, like Pastor Ikenna talk about, but you are someone with credibility. And I wouldn't have even entered into this investment if not for Pastor King, because Pastor King's someone that has not just integrity, but he has credibility. Anything he enters into works. I can say that with for free, like people normally say. So I want to say a very big thank you. And just in few time from now, you are going to hear from us. So thank you so very much. I'm very grateful. And I pray that God is taking you from glory to glory, from strength to strength.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much. My boss has been raising his hand. Mr. Lumide, you are my boss. You trained me. So please feel free. I'm humbled to have you join us. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And well, thank you for your very, very clear presentation. And thank you for all that you do. Integrity is something that you can't fake, and it's something that you cannot, engineer. Whatever way you attempt to do it. So thank God for what you're doing and your team also, and also the things that you plan to put in place in terms of also when you increase your staff size, the training, and also the kind of exposure you want to let them have, so that they understand exactly that when it comes to finances, integrity is very, very important. I mean, there are some countries where the jail term for financial fraud in the financial sector is more than other criminal offenses. That tells you all those things. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say is that clearly, I mean, when we first met you, you also know that I also are part of a cooperative that has invested in Sytiamo,
yes,
the Alenango cooperative, as well as my own personal funds also.
Yes,
and the thing that really caught us was that this isn't just about profits and returns on investment, but about people. And the target, the sector of the demographics which you target is a very important and neglected one.
Yes.
As it were, as it were the work of the ministry, but it's an important segment which has not been well attended to by government or whatever. So that's something that we really find very, very attractive in this. And of course, the returns that come in are also quite useful. The target that you've mentioned of 1 million subscribers, I think again, well, once you go the capacity in the organization, you probably will be able to handle more. just the safeguards, for the security, and you manage, you mitigate fraud as much as possible in the system. So thank you very much. The feedback you give is also very useful. It's not many, and this is not a very common thing in this environment where people get a transparent feedback the way you are providing it. So I want to also thank you for that, and encourage you, to keep on, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we've exhausted the questions. Akim Akinwale has spoken, right? Oh, he hasn't. Oh, Mr. Akim Akinwale, please go ahead. I thought you had spoken. Go ahead, sir. Unmute yourself and give us your feedback.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, it was network, or I don't know what happened when you admitted me to talk. I actually want to address what everybody have said. Good enough, the network, did not allow me to talk, making me to have listened to all what people have said. So I want to give more courage to the effort you have put in place, that God Almighty will continue to elevate you and strengthening your capacity. So I have two support idea I want to bring in. And I've noticed that all the people that have spoken sound very professional, but I will talk from the layman view. The investment in a way of capacity, I would not want you to limit it to high volume. It could be the people that you are lending money to can also be making savings to you, which can form an investment to them. I'm sure you have that in plan. And in the other side of able to bring in people like other our chairmen and the bosses have been doing with you, I will also want to give my word to be able to do something better and close to what they have been doing. I have a very good connection in Europe with some people who has intention to loan out fund, which I have been opportune to meet some of them, even when I was in Mobile Congress in Barcelona early this year.
Okay.
I was also able to meet some of the professionals who develop AI programs, even for banks and institutions in Europe, showing very high interest to come to Nigeria. So I will be able to work on that. I am very glad that I'm able to be part of this meeting. Secondly, I will also want to, like I said, I will speak from the grassroots, for you to look into the rates of your loan that you are giving to people, your clients.
Yeah.
Look into that rate. I came in through one of your staff, Yetunde. She's a very wonderful lady. She was able to convince me to do business with you, even multiply by 2 of the rate I had with another company. I was surprised how she did it. I said, okay, fine. This is how things happen. It is for purpose. So, and you really did well with me. You supported the business, and the business is really moving very well. We are still coming to get more, while we are also bringing in investors for you. So that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Am I able to make sense?
Yes, you are. Thank you very much.
So take a look to what I've said from the grassroots. I'm saying it. Let me use the like a mouthpiece for the market people. The rates are high, and when people start getting to understand that they can get their loan or their funding from elsewhere, even 1% lower, before you know, things can happen. Please work on it. I know it's not that easy. Work on that, and also increase the rate of investment as we are bringing in money.
Yes. No, you are right. So that's part of
I take it that way.
License. It will allow us to collect money at lower interest rate. Obviously, that will also translate to us reducing the loans we are giving to market women. Be rest assured, we're also looking for grants, and I thank God that you mentioned about people in Europe. Once we begin to get lower cost of funds, obviously it will translate to our customers as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Akim. Madam
Thank you.
Telma wants to talk. Let Madam Telma talk, then we'll come back to the question. Go ahead, ma.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm
Good morning.
super excited to be part of this meeting today. Well done to Sytiamo
Thank you.
on the progress they've
Thank you.
made so far. It's not easy, but they are pushing despite all the odds in the Nigerian investment space, but they are doing great. So keep up the good work. So I want to ask, I know that you and your market women, you've seen how, you're so comfortable with your market women, but I want to ask, I'm in the education sector, I run a school, and it would be nice if we need short-term funding and we're able to get it from Sytiamo. So apart from your market women, are you looking at extending what you're doing? At least the education sector is stable to an extent, as long as children are going to school. So do you have plans like that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have about 2 or 3 schools we are funding. In fact, to tell you that we are into it is that their repayment cycle is quite different. So they pay every quarter. Unlike people that pay monthly, because we know that the term is 3 terms ahead. You know how it is. So yes, it's something we are already doing. Natasha will reach out to you later to just have a feel of if it is something you need immediately or if you have a timeline. It's something we've done. Like I said, we have about 3 schools we've given loans to, and they repaid based on the time that students pay, which was quarterly. Yeah, it's something we will be more than happy to explore. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we've done more than 1 hour. What is it now? Yeah, 11:08. So please, we just want to appreciate you and to say to you that we will not stop. It's humbling to hear the feedback from everybody. It can only get better. From when we started with God knows how much to the portfolio we are managing now is humbling. And we know that if we keep doing the right thing, we can only get better. So thank you, everyone. The next quarterly meeting press conference will be sometime in October, third week, the third Thursday in October. We'll have another one, and we look forward to sharing the outcome of this pilot phase of this project we are embarking on. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You didn't say anything about the anniversary for tomorrow.
Okay, the anniversary link will be sent to us via WhatsApp for us to see what's going on at the office. Thank you so much.